everyone. What we are going to study today is more about statistics. Then we are going to see about what are the types of statistics, what are the data, what do you mean by mean, median and mode. And we are going to solve the example related to mean. So here it's what is the meaning of statistics. We all know what is statistics. It is more about study of collection of data, analysis and interpretation and organizing the data in a similar manner. Now in this type there are two basically. One is descriptive, one is inferential statistics. Descriptive statistics is more about describing the data, how the data is being collected to. And the inferential means more about telling the interference, what exactly the data shows, the correlation between the data. Yes, the method in statistics, what we have seen in method is more about data collection, how the data is collected, how the data is summarized and its interpretation in terms of statistical analysis. Yes, so when we collect the data, it is more of two types. One is descriptive and another one is more about continuous data. Discrete data means zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, how the value, it's a fixed value, more of that. And continuous is more about the range in terms of decimal point. It might be, it can be measured also, both of the data can be measured. Yes, all this data which we collect for interpretation can be represented in terms of graph. It could be of different types, which are the bar graph, pie chart, line graph, pictograph, histograph and frequency distribution, from which we represent all the data in terms of graphical representation. Moving further, yes, in statistics basically when we collect the data, when we analyze, when we interpret, there are different ways and techniques where a single data from whole of the population represents in terms of, we call it a central tendency, where all the descriptive summary of the data set or the single value of data set will reflect all the measures in statistics. Now, basically as I mentioned over here, in central tendency what we are going to study is more about mean, it is more about the median and mode part. Now, for finding the mean, the formula is summation of all the observation upon n means number of observation over here. Now when we say sum of all observation upon total number of observation, the data is represented in terms of x bar over here. As you can see on the screen. Yes. Now we will take one example related to how to find out the mean in the given example. As you see, there are 20 students in this given example, ranging from 88 till 83. We have to find out the percentage obtained by in the class. So total percentage obtained by 20 students. The number is given over here, it's 20 students and these are the number, what are the marks scored by a student. So what is the formula we are aware about? That sum of all observation upon number of observation. So here what we are going to do is, we are going to add all the numbers, the value which is being represented, divide by total number, that is 20. So we get the answer over 23 in this example. I hope this is also called as a direct mean method. Now coming over here, Reena studies for 3 days consecutive, for 3 hours, 4 hours and 5 hours respectively, right? So what is the number of hours she has studied for an average? So it is nothing but we add all the number, divide by number of observation, that is 3. So we get the answer, which is 4 hours per day. So in this observation what we have seen is, what is the formula? Whenever we have to identify, that is the x bar, it is being represented in terms of, that is, we have to multiply. Now, right. So in the similar way we have found out the averages or mean when it is ungrouped data. Two types of data I said we have mixed up. One is group and another is ungrouped data. Now if it is ungrouped data, we have to group it. By this method we are going to see direct method, assume method and step deviation method. In which two methods we are going to study. Starting with the mean of the example over here. Yes. Now take up this example. The class interval is given and the frequency is measured over here. The class interval, it starts from 0, ranging from 0 to 10 and it goes 10 to 20, 20, 30, 30, 40 and the frequency is being given in the table. Now what you are going to do is, yes, Now this is foremost important for your exam purpose, how to solve an example. The class interval is defined over here. We have to mark, that is for each of the class interval, find out the class mark, that is xi. If this class interval represents x over here, xi represents the midpoint. So what is the midpoint of 10? 0 plus 10, that is a 5. 10 to 20, 15. So you have to just find out the midpoint. There is one more formula to find out the midpoint. It is a lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. You get the midpoint. I hope this is clear to everyone. How to find out the midpoint, that is xi. Moving to the next point, frequency. Frequency is already been given in the example. What you're supposed to do is, you're going to add all the frequency, that is summation fi. We get 50 over here when you add all this digit. Got it? Now moving to the next point. Next is summation fi xi. Why summation xi fi? Because the formula says that x bar or the mean is equal to summation fi xi upon summation fi. So what we are going to do over here is, you have to just multiply first midpoint with the frequency, you get answer over here, and later on addition of all this fi xi, you get this answer is 110. And moving next, according to the formula, we get the answer. Yes, summation fi xi equal to summation fi, that is 110 divided by 50, we get the answer as 22. So this is nothing but direct mean method, in which you have to just find out the midpoint, multiply with the frequency, get the all total of summation fi xi and divide it by summation fi. You get the answer, that is exactly the mean of the class. Yes, there is one more method for example, that is assume mean method. We are going to take another example. Similarly, class interval is given.